Alrighty, so this is Decent We the People News. Okay, this video, I watched some of her stuff, and she's very knowledgeable. But you got to really understand how this works in and out of court. Okay, and she is, from what little I've seen, has got great wisdom on this. Okay, I'm going to stand arm length because I do not know enough about this. All right. However, take to heart. The reason why I'm really showing this is because more than anything else, we talked about persons, men and women, right? I tell you guys, look up legal definition of persons. Well, she's going to get into a little bit of the persons and what that consists of. Okay. Way greater than I can explain it because I'm not what you call a speaker, right? Everything I say or do is very last minute. It's not really laid out for me, right? I was watching this video on an accident, came across this, heard a few things. Interesting. Here I am. And 15 minutes later, I'm making this video.
My co-author, my sister, my bulk sister, my friends, my Buffalo gal, and Miss Tamara T. Bush. Tamara is a woman of God. She's a wife. She's a mother, and she takes great pride in being an instrument of change for others. She is a 4-time best-selling author, international as well, with a special place in her heart for community. Her extensive knowledge in the finance, banking, and credit industries has made her.
Okay, if you're interested in part of this, because I'm not going to show all of it, let's go with her YouTube channel, right? Again, don't know how to do the descriptions just yet. I'm just so busy sometimes, all right? And when I have spare times, this is what I do. Capital T, A-M-R-A, capital T, by itself, dot B, U, capital B, U-S-H. Okay, look her up, especially if you find some of this interesting. All right, she's going to give you great wisdom that you can't even think of actually how it's going to impact your life. From what little I've seen, it's already put a little bit of an impact on me.
Invaluable assets to families that want to build wealth and create legacy. Facts. That's it. She's passionate about teaching families how to exercise their rights, defend themselves against fraud, unfair and deceptive business practices, properly assert themselves as federally protected consumers, acquire assets, and leverage their credit. Whoa. Tamara understands that effective communication and support systems are needed, and this is why she strives to make a difference by breaking down customer laws in a way that is easily understood.
Commercial.
I wish I could see Julius over there.
Some time with Oscar would be nice. Hang in the cafeteria.
Always something. There you go.
That is easily understand. Yes. So without further ado, please give a round of applause for my sister and my friend, Mrs. Tamara T. Yeah! Let's get it. Come on. Let's come with that fire, y'all. Listen, y'all better be taking notes, for real. Y'all better be taking notes, like. The stuff that she's talking. Listen, the stuff that she's talking. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and they don't know, and she's giving out like this nuggets. Listen, my audience know. I give away a lot of free gems. Listen. Like YouTube and TikTok. Those are my main 2 platforms right now. And just imagine if the free stuff is valuable. Just imagine how. But the paid stuff is right. That's what I say all the time to my folks. I'm giving y'all all this stuff for free. Come on and pay us. See what you get. See what's up. See what you get. Okay. She said, let me bring you in the partnership. Yes. Come on, go ahead. All right. So we're about to get into it. Listen, we spoke a lot about family, parenting, right? These are essential things that we need to speak about and we need to know and understand because these are the foundational elements that we need in order to get things together for ourselves and our family. But one of the things that's also foundational in terms of what we need is we need to understand how to properly structure our credit, and we need to know and understand who we are when we're out here conducting commerce with these big corporations that only care about their shareholders. Right? So they don't care about us. They don't care about us. They just care about the profits. You know, we know that we live in a capitalistic society, so like Ms. Tree said earlier on today, everything is driven by money. Everything is driven by money. So we're going to get into it. We're going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to go slow because I know sometimes when I teach it's a little bit overwhelming. But I'm going to make sure that you all can, y'all know how I break down these system laws. I break it down in a way that you can understand it, in a way that you can take it and apply it to your life. Right? So we're going to get into it. So YouTube, y'all with me? Put a 1 in the comment. Let me know that y'all are with me. I want y'all to drop y'all city and state in the comment section so that I know where you're tuning in from. TikTok, I want you to also drop your city and state so that I know where you are tuning in from. And IG, I need you to drop your city and state so I know where you're tuning in from. Now, if you want to see the screen share, I know TikTok and IG, you're not able to see the screen share, but if you want to see it, head over to my YouTube channel, Tamara T. Bush on all platforms. So you shouldn't have a problem finding me. I'm everywhere. Tamara T. Bush. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. All right, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about commerce because a lot of the times we don't understand when we go out into the world and we seek to acquire goods, we don't know that we're being pulled into commerce, right? We don't know that we're being pulled from the private into the public. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about who are you in these transactions, right? We're going to talk about what is a credit card because we think that a credit card is just one of the plastics that we pull out of our wallet, but it goes a little bit deeper than that, all right? And then we're also going to talk about who holds the obligation. So I want y'all to definitely take notes, right? So y'all already know my disclaimer. You know my disclaimer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. Anything that I teach, I want you to CYA. Consult your attorney, consult your accountant, and CYOASS. Cover your behind when you're trying to execute any of the strategies that I'm teaching. I say this all the time, so you all know every video that I do, I have to put it out there. All right, so these are some of the things that you need to know. I'm going to condense a lot in the, to save time because I know we lost a little time today, but it's okay. We're still going to get through it, so I just need y'all to stick with me through this because we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. All right, so let's get into it. Now, what is commerce? All right. Oh, yeah, you already know. Okay, so what is commerce, right? Yes, please. All right, so we're going to focus on the first sentence because I know it's a long definition, but the first sentence is really what we want to focus on, right? So it says commerce refers generally to the activity of exchanging products and goods and services for financial gain. So I want you all to remember the part that I have highlighted in that sentence. It says for financial gain. Because as we go out into the world and we seek to acquire goods and services as a consumer, we know that we're not going to acquire goods and services for financial gain. We're just going out to acquire goods and services for personal, family, and household use, right? Personal, family, and household use. So just remember that in the back of your mind as we go through some additional definitions. Now, every slide that you see on the screen is going to give you the source of where that definition is coming from. So definitely, if I'm giving you a definition, don't take my word for it. I want you all to go and look it up and Google it and read it and gain an understanding for yourself because remember, you have to be able to qualify this information for yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to other people on the internet. Go and read these definitions for yourself so that you can make them applicable to your specific situation, right? All right. So a consumer, what is a consumer? A consumer is a natural person who seeks to acquire. A consumer is a natural person who seeks to acquire goods or services for personal, family, or household use. Okay? And this is coming from 16 CFR. CFR is the Code of Federal Regulation 433.1. So it says a natural person, right? Because if you all read legalese, you'll know that they have a different definition for persons. Did you hear this? There's a natural person, and then there's a legal person. We're talking about two different people. Two different people.
No.
Two different people. Two different people. All right, so a natural person, again, is a living human being. Legal systems can attach rights and duties to natural persons without their express consent, and this happens all the time. They do things to us, we acquiesce to certain things because we don't understand what we're signing when we sign contracts, right? They attach rights and duties to natural people without our consent. All right, now, talk about the legal system. The United States of America is one of the biggest legal systems on the face of the earth. They are infamous for taking liberties and attaching rights to legal people, right? But when you look at the United States, it doesn't say the United States of America. It says the United States. By definition, is a federal corporation. It's a business, just like any other business out here. It is not a country, it is a business, it's a corporation. By definition, right? It says an agency, department, commission, board, or other entity, an instrumentality of the United States. So, when we're out.
Pause here for a second, just so it'd be verified, right? 28 USC 3002, section 15A tells you this.
Here conducting commerce with big corporations, they are an extension of the mother corporation, which is the United States. They have to get registered with the Secretary of State, right? It all rolls up to the mother corporation. So when we're doing business with Target, we're doing business with Walmart, we're doing business with Sunoco, whoever. In essence, we're doing business with the United States because it rolls up to the mother corporation, right? That's one thing that we should keep in mind, who we're actually doing business with. It's not just the company on the corner, it ain't Tim Hortons.
This is the reason why they you have to get a business license. The business is waiving their rights to be part of the corporation United States. Constitutionally speaking, you could waive your rights, still have a business in the private side. But they don't want you to do that. They want you to be in the United States corporation side. And that's the reason why you waive your rights to have this business.
And Starbucks, all of these companies are instrumentalities of the United States corporation, right? So keep that in mind.
Commercial.
Sheet pan meals from Birdseye. Golden.
There you
Juicy. Crisp.
go. All right.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about this. An artificial person. What does it say? An artificial person is also known as a juridical person. It has a legal name, and it has certain rights, protections, privileges, and responsibilities, right? Similar to those of
Qualified immunity.
Similar. In other words, an artificial person is a non-human legal entity, a fictitious person. And what does it say? In the United States, an artificial person is usually referred to as an entity established under the laws of the United States. Again, Target, Walmart, Tim Hortons, Delta Sonic, all of these companies are established under the laws of the United States, and they're all considered to be people. So you know how on the news when you hear politicians speaking about, oh, the people, we think they're talking about us. They're not talking about us. They're talking about the artificial people. Because everything that they do is in the best interest of the artificial people. The shareholders, the corporations, right? In the interest of capitalism. Because, you know, this whole society is capitalism. It's all about money. We spoke about that earlier. These are the people that they're speaking about. We think they're talking about us. Baby, they're not. I can tell you right now that they're not talking about us. They're not talking about us. So check this out. It's a little diagram. Because the purpose of this exercise is for us to begin to know and understand who we are. We have to understand who we are. So a natural person is a human being, is a real living person, right? So we have the ability of speech. Only a natural person can go and sit in front of the notary and get something notarized. We are the only ones that can take an oath in the court of law, right? Because we're living, breathing. We can write, we can speak, right? Natural person lives for a limited period of time. Slaves were natural people, we know that. But check this out. What does it say about a legal person? A legal person is real or imaginary, whom the law regards as capable of rights and duties. So these corporations, they have rights and duties, just like a natural person. But a legal person has no such power of thought, speech, or choice. So a corporation can't speak, they can't write. So they send one of their legal representatives or their agents to do business on their behalf, right? They can't go and get a document notarized. They can't do it. Have you ever saw, you know how we like to watch court shows, Law and Order, all that? When have you ever seen an attorney take an oath in court? You will never see an attorney take an oath in court because they cannot personally attest to the facts because they're just an agent working on behalf of the entity that they're representing. They can never take an oath. Never. They can never take an oath because they don't have first-hand knowledge of the facts.
Working on the behalf of the State of Texas Corporation, right? They can't take an oath because there is no facts. And the state of Texas cannot speak. It has to be the attorney to be able to speak for the state of Texas, which the attorney has to be a mind reader and think what the state of Texas is thinking. This is how stupid some of this stuff is, but it's, in reality, that's what they are doing.
Right? So it says, legal persons perform their functions through natural persons only. It's like we're puppet masters, right? You pull the strings behind the scenes to make it do what it do, right? Undead says, but unborn, dead men, idiots, corporations, companies, these are all legal persons, right? Legal person can live more than 100 years. Corporations can go on forever. All we have to do is look at what Warren Buffett did with Berkshire Hathaway. He went back and purchased a ton of older corporations to get their age, and then he built credit on these entities. That's what he did. That's why they lived for so long. 100 years, indefinite, right? So it gives you some examples. But this right here is what's gonna blow your mind. This is what's gonna blow your mind. Check it out. As natural persons, because think, we're just out here trying to live. We need housing. We need transportation. We need food. We need clothing, right? We need shoes. These are all essential consumer goods. We have to have these things, right? We can't live without these things. We can't live without food. So why do I have to go to a corporation to get an essential consumer good when I'm just trying to stay private and live my life, right? As a natural person, we are being pulled out of the private into the public to do commerce. Remember what commerce is: the buying and selling of goods for financial gain. Nothing that we do is for financial gain. We're just trying to feed our family. We're just trying to go to work. We're just trying to eat our food. We're just trying to live our life. Nothing that we do is for financial gain. But these corporations cannot do business with us as a natural person. They can only do business with our legal representative, right? So it says, we're being pulled out of the private into the public to do commerce using our legal person that was assigned to us at birth by the United States. Now, you're probably like, wait, what are you talking about? What legal person was assigned to us at birth? Who are you talking about? Right? I don't know if y'all have a passport. I want you to pull out your passport and I want you to pull out your driver's license. Because if you look at your driver's license, you have a first name, middle name, and last name. When you look at your passport, it says surname and given name. So you have to ask yourself, why is that so? Why doesn't the driver's license say the same thing as a passport? Because we're dealing with two different persons. There's two different persons.
New Jimmy Dean Egg Bites.
It's a great way to kick off your day.
Sorry about that.
The passport is issued by the United States of America, which is the de jure government, which is the centralized government. So they have to recognize you as a natural person living on the land, right? But all of these states that are instrumentalities of the United States, we've allowed them to identify us through their system, the driver's license. And so what they did is they took our surname, which is our family name, that is always supposed to come first, because family should always come first. But what they did is they tricked us. They tricked us. They took and put our family name. Your surname is the name that you inherited from your father. That's the name that was here before you were even born. It was here before you were even here. That's your surname, your family name, your tribal name. Your given name is the name that you were gifted at birth, right? I just found out, my auntie told me, on my dad's side, she told me that she named me after this actress it was an actress singer that she used to like to watch. Her name was Tamara Dobson. Okay. And she used to be in a lot of the, like the black exploitation, And so I looked her up. Because I was asking her, like, how did you, because I was asking her, I said, I know you named me. She said, yeah, I named you. I said, well, where did you come up with the name Tamara? This was last week. Oh, wow. Because I never knew. I always wanted to know, but I never knew. And she was like, oh, yeah, she said, this actress that I used to like to watch. I said, what? Child, I went and looked her up so fast. Beautiful black woman. Actress, singer. I said, OMG. I said, this is some deep stuff. But that was her gift to me. That was her gift. She gave that name to my parents. She gave that name to my parents. That was her gift to me. And so what has happened, the system has tricked us into putting our family last. They took our surname, our tribal name, and they took it and flipped it, and they combined it into one full legal name, which is the legal entity that was assigned to us at birth. First name, middle name, last name, instead of a surname and a given name. Why did they do this? Because a natural person cannot be charged. The natural person cannot be levied. They cannot be obligated to pay a thing. Your legal person holds all the obligation. We as natural people, we don't hold any of the obligation, but the problem is that we think we're the legal person. We're not the legal person. That's not us. That's the entity that they created to trick us. They tricked us, and we fell for it. We've been bamboozled. Y'all, we've been bamboozled. We have been hooked. We have been bamboozled. Right. Surname, given name. Like I said, if you have a passport, pull it out. You gotta look at it and see what it says and ask yourself a question. Why does the passport have a surname and a given name, but the driver's license has a first name, middle name, and last name? Why is that? There's a reason behind everything that these people do. You already know. There's always a reason. There's always a reason. So y'all gotta figure out.
And it's always the reason to benefit them, not you. Always. Every single law is to benefit the state or the government and overall, never to benefit you.
What the reason is so you can figure out who you are. Alright, so we're going to get into this breakdown. Now, when I say being pulled out of the private into the public, let's see if I can see the top of it. Okay, so the private, this is what the private looks like. You're a natural person, right? Living on the land.
Now, I still don't like natural person. I'm still more into men and women, right? Because Well, a creator, that's what he said. I created man after his own image. We are mankind. Just saying, you know, natural person is still a legal name. So I try to even stay away from natural person because, again, they don't create something for the benefit of us. They create something for the benefit of them. So, since they did not create men and women, they got to pull us into something that benefits them. All right, well, I'm going to pause it right there. I hope you found this interesting. It's a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but it's still interesting. All right, this is We the People News. Bye, y'all.